morning. This is Paul from To Live For, and I am so honored and blessed to introduce to our audience Shweta Singh. Shweta is a author of two books. One book is called The Night I Woke Up. The other book is called 7 Incredible Ways to Gorgeous Failure. And Shweta, I read The Night I Woke Up, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Shweta is also a blogger. She has a website called discoverthehero.com. She is also out there on several different multimedia platforms. Shweta is a life coach and a motivational speaker. Welcome to Live For.
Hello.
Shweta, like I just said, I read your book, The Night I Woke Up, and there's a few things I really like about it, but the most important piece is I felt like I was in the same room as you, and that I got to hear your story. And I'd like you to take a few minutes to share a little bit about your story, starting with the fact that you were on a traditional path and that you were studying engineering.
Yeah.
And what I love is that you now say that you engineer smiles and you engineer happiness. But tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Okay, Paul, actually, I always believed that I was born for something special, to do something special in my life. And I always knew inside my heart that I am not going to do something which is man-made. I do not know how I bumped into engineering, but after a time, I started realizing that this is not what I want to do in my life. Like nowhere. There's no practicality in today's education system. They're just files, completing files, and there is no real education, I feel. There's no knowledge.
One of the things you talk about in your book is the fact that education doesn't talk about happiness and passion. How did that come about for you to realize that? Was it just something inside, a knowing?
Yes, actually, I cannot describe how and why it came about, but I can just say that I was missing something in my academics. I always thought that why are we writing these files? Why are we getting checked? Why are we bound into this system which does not allow one to be imaginative? We are only allowed to study for marks.
Right.
Actually encouraged for marks. You have to get that degree, you have to get that degree. What is the significance of getting a PhD if you do not know that you have a third eye here?
What's
you
the third?
Know about your eye.
Tell everyone what the third eye is.
Third eye is actually the first eye, I should say. It's not the third eye. It's a pineal gland, and this is where our body connects to the spiritual world, to the cosmos, to the spirits around, to the angels that are always protecting us.
They don't talk about that in engineering school, huh?
No. No.
But if they weren't teaching that in engineering school, how did you know about it?
I have no idea, actually. I do not have any idea. And I always wonder about how it came to me, but not to my other classmates, not to my family members. If I have to be honest, only my sister shares these talks with me. I cannot share this spiritual talks with my parents or my cousins, or I do not have friends. After a time, I started disconnecting with people. I do not know, but I just feel weird when I'm in a crowd. I don't know why, but I feel weird.
I understand that. I think it's it's feeling different.
Yeah.
Marching to a different drummer is an expression that's out there.
Yeah, I feel that people are still sleeping. They're still sleeping. I never was a person who would like to go to parties or clubs. I was always a person who would like to sit on a mountain reading a book and just breathing in the magic.
You talk about in some of your videos, you also have, I forgot to mention, but you also have a YouTube channel
Yeah.
that is also called Discover the Hero. But you talk about that where you really spend significant time every day just being still and as much as possible out in nature. That's where you feel maybe that's where your inspiration and the understanding of your third eye or first eye, maybe that's where that came from, is starting to
Yeah.
realize that.
Actually, because I think silence has all the answers. Once we learn to still our mind, our thoughts, that is the biggest achievement. When you can sit in silence without thinking about the past or your future, just completely drenched in the beauty of this present moment.
That's very deep wisdom. We've done about 50 interviews, and I would say about 45 people share that same piece of wisdom where they find it really important to be still every day. And without that stillness, the day doesn't feel complete, perhaps, are the best words. So when you were kind of going through that struggle, you've already mentioned that perhaps your sister was the one person you could talk to, but otherwise you were keeping it all inside. It must have been kind of eating away at you. And
Yes, actually, uh, the environment at my home was not, it was not, I should say it was like heated up because my parents were suddenly like, what is she doing? From a childhood to this day, from like, I think around 20 years, they had this dream that I would become a very good rank officer in Indian government. But when I started questioning, why do I want to become an officer? Why? Just to have a secure job because I'm a girl? Just to have that secure, high salary job? Is it actually serving some purpose? But the answer was no.
so, what is your purpose now? What is bringing you joy now?
Paul, I don't know if I should share this because I decided that I would not be sharing this with people once I reach to that point. But I think I should share this message so that somewhere, I know, it might create some ripple. So, yeah, my purpose for this life on earth is I want to save my animals. I, uh, I just feel that they too deserve to live in peace and harmony with humans. They are, they deserve to live with love and all, they deserve all the care. They are like our friends, our neighborhoods, our neighbors. They share the same space on this earth. We are not here to make money or to eat them or to kill them. No, we are not here. They have a spirit, they have a soul, they feel. It is not that if they cannot speak English or German or French or any other language that they do not talk. They talk. They talk.
They do.
Yes.
It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. See, um, you use the word ripple,
Hmm.
and how are you creating those ripples?
Paul, actually, I think that we vibrate, everyone vibrates, from living beings to non living beings. Everything has a consciousness. So, since everything is an energy, everything has a frequency, and so everything vibrates. Now, when I am vibrating at a higher frequency, I am actually, do not know what to say that. I am bringing some change in the energy environment around me. When I elevate my vibrations, there are things that change their vibrations according to mine. If they are
Absolutely.
open. Yes, if they are open.
Absolutely. So this is kind of personal, and I would say that you have dared to be different, and you have accepted that challenge. So in your home, do you feel that with your willingness and courage to put that vibration out there, how's that worked with your parents? Have they made changes? Have you felt like
Oh
you're
my God, they completely support me now. They believe in my vision. Just I think a week earlier, my father was asking me that, so, okay, okay, are you earning now? It has been 2 years to your graduation. And what are you earning? And that day I was completely fearless and I was putting out everything that was coming to my mind. And I was saying that, Papa, just wait for a few more months and I'm gonna complete my dream. I'm gonna realize my dream. I believe in my dream, and that is why I have endured like around more than 2 years. And now I'm slowly on that path. Just believe in my vision because I believe in myself and I know what I'm doing. And he was like, okay, all the best. And that was for, I think, the first time ever, he responded like that. And I was completely surprised.
did it bring tears to your eyes? It makes me feel emotional when I think it's hard for that generation to understand this because they grew up with that message, make money.
Yes, yes. It was very difficult initially. Uh, mm, they were not coming in terms with this because, first of all, they were like, what she really wants to do. It was not clear for them. It was not clear to them. But then slowly and slowly, okay, this is something I want to do. Bomb. See, I have published my book. There are so many people who have read it and they feel inspired. So slowly and slowly, they were like coming to this realization that, okay, things are working out. And now when I have like worked for around more than 2 years on my YouTube channel, I finally have around 300 subscribers, and that's a big achievement for me. And I know that it's gonna reach its point in time.
You have an amazing attitude and wonderful vibe. Um, the you and I talked briefly yesterday, and
Mhm.
you shared with me another one of your dreams, and that is about where you want to live.
Mhm.
Would you mind sharing that with our audience?
Yes, absolutely. Um, I've always been drawn to mountains. Like mountains and hills are my life. That's actually where my heart resides. So I have this dream that I do not want a very big house. I just want a small house, but with garden around it and on the top of a mountain. So that when every morning I wake up and open the window, there has to be that fresh, misty air flowing all around, and that big mountain with a little snow and that sunshine shimmering all over my face, and that beautiful lake, calm lake. Oh my God, this is so overwhelming. Oh,
That sounds majestic, absolutely majestic. And is that where you go in your mind's imagination now? When you what are you doing on a daily practice for a daily practice so that you are putting out that high vibration? Are you traveling to that mountaintop in your mind's imagination until you're able to actually be there?
mm, I would say I do not actually visualize, I just feel. I feel my barefoot on that grass. I feel that air passing through my nose. I just feel, I do not now visualize, I don't. Because that is not something I need to visualize. It is always with me.
Right, right. It's part of you. You can
Yeah.
feel it. What else is part of your daily practice that keeps you at that high vibration?
Paul, actually, practices are just one way, but that high vibration comes from being the happiness. After a point, I actually realized that I do not need money to make me happy. I do not need fame to make me happy. I am doing what I'm loving. I know that with time I will reach that point, but I have to become my happiness first. So I'm always happy. There is no reason at all. I'm always bubbling with joy and that energy. No one practice can actually make you vibrate higher. No one practice can tune you into that higher frequencies. Just knowing that you are the source of the happiness is everything you need to be happy. That's it.
That's very simple yet very profound.
Yes.
And it's reminding me of in your book, you talk about the fact that you're in this engineering program and you have a class where you're going to be called up and you're going to have to talk in front of the class. To me, that seems to be like that was a switch for you. As nervous as you were,
Yeah.
as apprehensive as you were, you got up there and it's almost like there was no going back, even though it was challenging. What was that? Go ahead.
I remember that day. It was second year of my engineering, and it was the communication skill enhancement program class. And I was sitting in the last row, and the trainer was calling one randomly. She was calling randomly, okay, for example. And example at that time to me was like the most hellish experience a person could have if he or she is underconfident. And I could not even talk in a group. I was that hesitant. So, but inside, I think I wanted to overcome this problem. So when there was like 5 minutes left for the class to over, she asked that if there is anyone who would like to come here and like talk about any topic. And I was sitting there thinking about, should I raise my hand or should I not? There are 70 classmates. If I speak anything stupid, I will be made fun of. And I cannot actually describe that feeling in words. Then suddenly I thought, okay, let it happen. And I raised my hand. And then that was the time. And oh my goodness, when I was walking towards the front, my left leg it was like crumbling. I was drenched in sweat all over my face, and I was trembling. People could see it. People could see it. I was trembling that bad. And the trainer offered me a glass of water. And suddenly there were like one group of boys in the front who started laughing. Oh my God. I was made fun of. Okay. Now, when I was returning, I did not actually mind that laughing, but there was one thing inside me that today I did something that I was afraid of, and not many, very less people would actually dare to. And I don't know, I just had this thing in my mind that now onwards I will work towards it. And these same boys will come and compliment me. when I would hold a seminar in my college. And it actually happened.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I was teased growing up at some point, and that was part of my motivation to do really well, was to kind of show my friends that I can do better. Wow.
Great.
So I read your book, as I just mentioned, The Night I Woke Up. I've not read 7 Incredible Ways to Gorgeous Failure. Can you tell us a little bit about that book?
It's an ebook, and I wrote that book in one day.
That was
And
your first book, right?
yeah. And one day, actually, I was just making something in my kitchen, cooking something. And that idea hit me like, okay, I have a script written over in my diary, in my journal, and let's publish it in the form of an ebook, because otherwise that paper publishing would take a lot of time. So I just got it published in 2 weeks on Kindle. Yeah. And it got a good response. It was okay. Not very nice, but it was good. Actually, I had the tag of author.
Exactly, and that's how I introduced you, as author,
Yeah.
an author of 2 books. Do you have another book you might be working on, or is that top secret?
Oh, no, not now, actually. Not now.
And what you are working on right now is your YouTube channel.
Hmm.
It looks like you're putting a video out maybe every week, every few days.
Yeah. Every week.
And just for our audience, I really encourage you to go to Shweta's YouTube channel, because her videos are so positive. They're fun. They're in some ways very light, but in other ways the message is very deep, and you can learn so much. And they're short videos, so it's really easy to take a few minutes to listen to Shweta's wisdom and humor. You have a great sense of humor as well. And it's hard for me to believe, but I believe you, that you were so nervous about public speaking, because when I watch your videos, you just seem totally at ease. But that's growth, and that's because you addressed that fear and you were willing to overcome that. You really, really do good work. So you've got your blog, and you're also putting posts out on your Facebook page, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think is it fair to say that one of your hopes is to speak in front of a large audience?
Yes. That's a very big dream.
Well, I absolutely see that. You just have this amazing vibe. I I know that as you went through the challenge and really kind of coming to connect with your heart and your hopes, you didn't have a lot of people to talk to, but I think I recall there was at least one person, maybe through books, who really was an inspiration. Was there someone that you can kind of point to and say, well, I've learned a lot from this person?
Mm, not actually. There was one book, Life Lingua. That was my first ever book on positive teaching and self improvement, and that was, I think, the starting point.
And what's the name of that book again?
Life Lingua.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And you've answered this a little bit, but if you could share, if someone asked you, what is the one piece of wisdom, the one piece of advice that you would give to someone that is struggling with finding themselves, or struggling with overcoming that fear to be different, or to take the path less traveled, what is the one piece of advice that you would share?
Oh, that's so difficult. One piece of advice.
One. You only get one, but now you can, if you have 2 or 3, that's fine.
Okay. I would advise that person to first know himself or herself. Knowing oneself is very, very important. Do not follow, do not make anyone your idol. Just make yourself your inspiration. Your answers, all the magic of life is at the core of your heart. You'll get all the answers here, all inside. Never look outside.
I love that. So let's take that one step further and kind of sticking with the same rule. What is one step someone could take to get to know themselves better?
Be alone.
It goes back to what you said earlier about being still.
Yeah. Take some time, at least 1 hour, when you are in nature and completely alone. Though you're not alone, though you are never alone. There are your spirit guides. There are so many beings around you. But take the time to just be still, connect with the nature. That is, I think, the most important thing which people nowadays have forgotten about.
And that's part of why Donna Maria and I started to live for, because we feel, and this ties into your passion for saving animals. It is nature, it is earth, it is Pachamama that sustains us. And so when we have events or when we sell a t-shirt, we give 10%, we give a percentage of our proceeds to help the environment and to help the earth. But we totally agree with you that we as a culture, as a community, and as a world, we're forgetting about that partnership that we have with the earth, with the plants, the trees, the animals. And we totally agree with you that a lot of our guidance comes from them. So we really appreciate your wisdom around spending time in nature.
Thank you.
Yeah. If someone wanted to reach you, someone wanted to reach out to you,
Yeah, they can drop a mail at shwetasg93@gmail.com.
And so just to recap for our audience, and I also I write this out when I post the interview, but so we've got your website, which is discoverthehero.com. We have your YouTube channel, which is Discover the Hero, and your Facebook page, I think is your name.
Yeah, Discover the Hero with Shweta.
Okay. All right. So what's next for you?
Well, next, every moment is getting you younger. Every moment there are things to discover. So I do not actually focus on projects or what's coming next, because where I am today, I am learning about myself new every day. And that, I think that is completely magical.
You are living in the moment.
Yeah.
This is the moment. This is the moment that you will take. This is what you will learn from. Okay. This is like deep wisdom from a young person. It's amazing. If I knew what you know now, I wonder how my life would be different. But I mean, it all unfolds as it's supposed to unfold.
Yeah.
Amazing wisdom. And I think I know the answer to this. Where's it coming from?
It's all coming from inside. It's all coming from inside.
Beautiful. So beautiful. What you are putting out there is making a difference. And so we connected as part of Shannon Brown's community online on Facebook, and that's the vibe you're putting out there, and you can feel it. And it is making a difference, and it's going to continue to make a difference.
I'm so happy hearing this.
And you are to live for. Your mission, your life, your journey is all to live for. And I hope we stay connected.
Yes,
And
definitely.
I hope there's a day where we're knocking on your door.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm waiting for the day.
And I forgot to mention at the very beginning. So Shweta is based out of New Delhi, India, and that's where you grew up.
Yeah,
And you have a sister and your parents.
yeah.
And you're magical. In my heart, India feels magical, and what you're putting out there is magical. You are a blessing. Thank you so much for sharing the time that you did today, for making this connection, for reaching out across the seas and the land, and finding time to do this.
I'm really happy doing this. Thank you.